Overall, guys, I think we had some pretty interesting inventions today that came out. Inflict pain upon someone. Hi guys, welcome to the video. So today I'm going to be trying out some gadgets for the guitar that I picked up from Temu. Now some of these I've seen before and some of them I haven't. So I'm super excited to see how they go. So let's jump into it. Let's try out the first one now. So the first one we've got here is this guitar pick tuner. Pretty cool combination, I will say. First impressions are it's a bit weird because the end of the pick is like 0.7 or 0.8 gauge, but the back end is like a brick, to be honest, so it's massive. Now we have a little on button here, and we've got this little LED screen that pops up. So let's try it out and see if it tunes, see if it picks. So I've got my guitar here in half step down. I'm going to take a couple angles of it and let's see how it goes. Okay, so from a tuning end, it actually worked really good. I'm super surprised. As a pick itself, it's not too bad. Overall, I suppose if we were rating it as a guitar tuning pick, it has to be a 10 because, you know, you can use it as a pick and you can tune with it. Now, my main quarrel is how practical it is. So it's working primarily off sound, so it's going to pick up notes if you're around other people playing instruments. So maybe not the most practical in a noisy setting, but as something like a cool trick to pull out, it's pretty good. So overall, I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10. Honestly, not bad for a couple dollars, so good job. Now the next item we've got here is this muting pad. It's something I've always wanted to try myself, and it sort of mimics palm muting. Alright, so let's pop it on, see how it goes. It's got this like felt in between, and it just screws in with a screw here. So I'm gonna pop on the guitar and let's try it out. Okay, so not the best sound. To be honest, I was expecting a bit better. Maybe because it's a cheaper one, it doesn't sound that good. Even individual notes, you sort of have this like underlying buzz coming through. So overall, I'd probably give this like a 3 out of 10. Now it does do what it says, but maybe a bit too much. So it sounds a bit too muted for my liking, and it sort of gives off this buzz. So, you know, not very good to be honest. Let's try the next item out, guys. Alright, so the next thing we've got here is this guitar bow. Now this is something I've always wanted to try. It's sort of got this like cello looking body. Randomly has a pick on the end, and then what I would assume is the bow here on this side. It's pretty much just made out of plastic. I'm not really sure why there's a pick on the end because it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. You know, I thought the pick tuner was bad. This thing is huge on the end. Not very practical. I guess for fun you could sort of do something like this. I'm not gonna lie, that feels funny. I don't think I've ever picked from like this far away from the guitar before. It has this almost bouncy effect. I mean, you obviously couldn't really use this often, but that is funny. Now let's get to the bowing and see how that goes. That sounds terrible. Now that just sounds like someone is clawing on chalk. I have no idea when I would ever use this unless to try and annoy someone or make someone's ears bleed. This probably gets like a 2 out of 10. Now I will say, it did sort of bow. There was, you know, a bit of a sound. Overall, this was pretty bad. and the picking element of it was probably the funniest part. Alright guys, let's get to the next item. Now this next one here is something I've always wanted to try. It's not really something that affects the sound of a guitar, but I've always wanted to try it anyway. It's this sort of finger torture device that I assume is used to warm up your fingers or stretch them before playing. So let's try it out, see how it feels. Alright, so I've got it on and it feels pretty much about as good as it looks. I have no idea when you would ever use this unless to inflict pain upon someone. So I'm gonna give this probably a 1 out of 10. 1 because it does stretch your fingers, feels really bad around the joints. I would say never use this ever. It's probably terrible for your hand and may lead to injury. So probably avoid this one, but it did, I suppose, you know, stretch my fingers to the point of pain. So let's get to the next item. Now this is something I've seen around for like maybe a decade on eBay that I've always wanted to try. It's this guitar training tool. So let's open up, see how it feels. So overall, it has this sort of cardboard texture fretboard. About 5 frets on it. Honestly, not the most terrible feeling, not the best feeling thing in the world. Now it does have these plastic strings here that are relatively in line with where the strings lay, so that's pretty impressive. Let's try it out and see how it feels. So it honestly, surprisingly, lines up a bit with the left and the right hand. I could see maybe if you were trying to do like a particular scale pattern, like this could sort of be useful for chords, I guess, but you better off just playing on a guitar like to practice chords. But for something that can just fit into your pocket, honestly, not that bad. Not something I would probably use often or maybe use ever again. But I could see if I was just, you know, maybe watching YouTube, people are asleep and I want to practice just one particular line from a song, there could be some usefulness to this. I would give it about a 5 out of 10. Overall, not too bad, not the worst. Now my last thing to review here isn't my lovely Ibanez guitar. It is this extension at the bottom. So this I assume is made for, you know, either headless players or short scale guitars. But it's a way to extend the body downwards if you're in a seated position. Now as someone who plays some classical guitar, it is pretty uncomfortable going back to headless unless you're standing up with a strap. So first impressions is this feels pretty good, to be honest. This feels actually really nice. Yeah, this feels pretty good. Like, we have the nut, don't make any jokes guys, the nut in line with the eyes, which is a great position anyone plays classical. Feels really comfortable. It feels pretty natural on the leg, which is nice. Like the thickness of the actual extension is good. Overall, I think I would use this like anytime I'm seated with a headless. I think I 100% would use this tool. So I'm gonna have to give this a 10 out of 10, to be honest. Fine, my one gripe would be if this could extend out further, or you could adjust how far this extends. But overall, it feels great. It feels fantastic, to be honest. So I'm gonna give this one a 10. I think it's really good. Okay, so overall, guys, I think we had some pretty interesting inventions today that came out. These three were probably the most useless. I think the extension for the headless guitar is something I will continue to use. And the tuning pick, honestly, on second thought, is pretty cool to just have lying around the house. That way, anytime I want to tune, if I'm playing acoustic, I literally pick up a pick off the table and I can tune the guitar super quick. Now I just want to say guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. As a new YouTuber, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Maybe comment below what your favorite item I reviewed was, or let me know an item you'd like to see me review. I have a bunch of new items coming soon in the mail that I'm excited to look at, and a whole bunch of other new videos in the works. So thanks so much again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you want to like and subscribe, feel free. Thank you so much again. Have a great day. See you guys next time.